Welcome to tonight's quarterly online membership training, Member Engagement, Embracing Club Service. My name is Corey Leparty, and I'll be your training leader this evening. If you have any questions about tonight's presentation or membership in general, you can reach me by email at parliament@yahoo.com. So tonight, the goals of this session are that you will come away with an understanding of the importance of club service to your club and how it relates to membership success. And also you'll learn the ways to embrace the necessary changes that will focus on good club service. Now you should all be familiar with Rotary's 5 avenues of service, but for reference, they are club service, vocational service, community service, youth service, and international service. All 5 areas are important to club success, but the first, club service, is often overlooked by clubs over time as they focus on more of the other areas. Now Rotary International defines club service as club service focuses on making clubs strong. A thriving club is anchored by strong relationships and an active membership development plan. So let's look then at the 3 key elements of that definition. If we break the definition down, we find that club service covers a great many more things than we might think at first glance. The 3 key elements are making clubs strong, building strong relationships, and having an active membership development plan. So what elements do you think are necessary to have a strong Rotary Club? We'll go ahead and launch a poll here. Feel free to choose as many as you like. Fun meetings, well-run board meetings, regular socials, competent president, active board members, fundraising, well-maintained website, regular surveys, good communication, and member satisfaction. Now, while all those elements are important to have a strong club, the most important is actually member satisfaction. Strong clubs consider members to be valued parts of the Rotary experience. They understand what members want and provide it. They get regular feedback from members, they change to accommodate members' changing desires, and they make member satisfaction job number 1. So to make sure that your members are satisfied with their club, you should measure it on a regular basis with a simple survey. Each month, members can anonymously answer a 2-question survey on a scale from 1 to 10. The first being, would you recommend our club to a friend or family member? And the second question, do you have a positive comment or suggestion that you believe will make your club a better organization? Now, from these 2 questions and your surveys, you'll have to make sure to address every suggestion at the board level so members see results from their input. Now, the same old meetings can get stale and boring, and a good club service committee can make sure that the meetings not only run smoothly, but they are enjoyable. Once a month at the regular meetings, a specific activity designed to engage the members should be scheduled. Having fun meetings with occasional fun specific activities changes the environment to one that is welcoming and more consistent. You will find your members become more lively and more likely to invite a guest when you do this. Strong clubs also have members who meet often for more than just regular meetings. One of the key reasons people stay in Rotary is for friendships, and regular socials give members the opportunity to build on those friendships. A well-maintained website is also important. If someone logs onto your club's website, what will they find? Having a 2-page website with little content and out-of-date data makes a statement about your club. It conveys the message your club is outdated, not tech-savvy, and has little to say about itself. Remember, you only get 1 chance to make a good first impression. Strong clubs don't treat their members like mushrooms. Make sure to schedule regular meetings to discuss club achievements and progress on goals. If your club members don't know what's going on behind the scenes, they will start to make things up to fill in the gaps. Make sure they never have to. You can use email, texting, and social media as a great way to convey and communicate with your club. It's often forgot that your club's board is an essential part of club service. How your board members spend time working on the running of the club can go a long way in affecting member satisfaction. Using a consent agenda reduces the time wasted reviewing topics that do not justify that time. Your board created a budget at the start of the year, so why discuss items that are paid during a given month that are within that budget? The board still has access to all that information, but it only needs to spend time on the topics if a question is raised. If not, you can approve the secretary report, financial report, and other reports in one motion. At the beginning of the board meeting, you should spend time discussing items relevant to the health of the club and how to improve its operation. We have all experienced what's commonly referred to as the 80-20 rule. Few Rotary clubs are exempt from this phenomenon. Several of those 20% who do the club's work end up on the board, and the board looks more like 50-50. Unfortunately, this leads to some things being missed, some members burning out, and it does not promote the camaraderie you desire to have in a volunteer organization. Club involvement shouldn't end at the board level. It should start there, with all board members being involved in regular club activities. This not only sets a good example for other members, but it makes sure that your board does not lose touch with the club it serves. For a Rotary Club to be effective, it must be active in all avenues of service. The key to achieving this lies in the members. Without effective members, clubs cannot be effective. Rotarians often complain about disinterested members, while the members themselves often talk about feeling disconnected from the club or Rotary in general. Building strong relationships is the second key element of club service. When members are involved, they feel more connected. We often forget that even a small task done well can have a significant impact on the club. Clubs should strive to find something for every Rotarian to be responsible for. Remember that an active Rotarian is a committed Rotarian. Part of growing our membership is growing our members' talents and abilities. Often members will accomplish things, incredible things, when they are allowed to take on projects that are of interest to them. Make sure to be supportive of a member taking on a new project and give them the training and support they need to succeed. True fellowship in a Rotary Club is a wonderful thing. When club members take the time to get to know one another beyond their roles in the club, they gain more from the Rotary than they give. Making the effort to allow club members to get to know each other helps build lifelong friendships. Many clubs forget how important it is to recognize all the great things that our club members do. Club service has the ability to build recognition into the regular practice of the club. Everyone likes a compliment, but when was the last time you enjoyed a parking ticket, even if you deserved it? Fining at clubs is often a tradition that undermines good club service. It's important that your members of your club feel like they are included in club decisions and that they are not surprised by some action that your club board takes. Transparency goes a long way to member satisfaction and engagement. The third key element to effective club service is an active club membership development plan. Now, I won't spend that much time on this element because you could produce a whole hour-long training on the subject. As a matter of fact, I did, and you can view that on the District 5020 YouTube channel. Now let's look at how we approach embracing change. One of the biggest obstacles of change is mindset. I'm sure you've all heard the story of the baby elephant that is tied to the stake when it's born, and as it grows up, it never challenges the tiny leash that keeps it down. One of the most difficult mindsets to overcome in Rotary is the idea of, well, we've always done that way. These things are often referred to as traditions. Traditions are often familiar and comfortable, but they are not written in stone. They should be revised or discarded altogether if they are no longer working to increase member satisfaction. One of the best models for organizational change comes from change management guru John Kotter. He's a professor at Harvard Business School and a world-renowned change expert. Kotter introduced his 8-step change process in his 1995 book, Leading Change. The first step of Kotter's change model is to create urgency. And the best way to do this is to have an honest and convincing dialogue about what's happening in your club. If many people start thinking about the change you propose, the urgency can build and feed on itself. To lead the change, you need to bring together a coalition or team of influential people in your club. Identify the true leaders in your club, ask for an emotional commitment from these key people, and then work on team building within your team. Now, when you're creating a vision for change, don't take any shortcuts during the vision process. You'll want to make sure that you know the whys and hows for making changes in your club before you move forward. Club members need to be able to see the positive effects that change will make in their club. What you do with your vision after you create it will determine your success. Don't just call special meetings to communicate your vision. Instead, talk about it every chance you get. Use the vision to make decisions and solve problems. When you keep it fresh on everyone's mind, they'll remember it and respond to it. The next step is to check if anyone is resisting the change or if there are any processes or structures of your club that are getting in the way. Removing obstacles can empower the people you need to execute your vision and can help the change move forward. Nothing motivates more than success. Give your club a taste of victory early in the change process. Look for surefire changes you can make without the help from any strong critics of the change, and make sure to have targets that are achievable with little chance of failure. Cotter argues that many change projects fail because victory is declared too early. Real change runs deep, he says. Quick wins are only the beginning of what needs to be done to achieve long-term change. After every win, analyze what went right and what needs improving. Set goals to continue building on the momentum you've achieved. Make continuous efforts to ensure that the change is seen in every aspect of your club. This will help give that change a solid place in your club's culture. It's also important that your club's leaders continue to support the change and that you talk about your progress often and recognize key members that have worked on the changes. Remember that to change the behavior of people, you have to be aware of and speak to their feelings. Most resistance to change comes not from a place of rational logic, but of a place of deep emotions. For clubs to succeed in change, it requires lots of different activities. As you can see from this chart, if you don't employ all the tools, you won't end up with change as the result. So we do have some membership trainings coming up that I'd like to point out. In March, we have our last in-person training on the 14th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the La Quinta. You can register for that and all our trainings on the District 5020 website, including our last quarterly online training of this Rotary year on April 29th on mentoring and member retention. And then in district training and conference in Victoria in May, we'll have 5 membership sessions, including one featuring guest speaker Mitty Chang, who's going to be speaking on how to attract and keep younger members. So if you haven't already, make sure to sign up for district training in May. Thank you for attending, and that concludes tonight's presentation.